I guess I'm live now. The Flexbox in HTML CSS. The topics is kind of very detailed. I just want to cover the first part of it. So I'm gonna start the Visual Studio Code, and I wrote some codes here. Okay, so I'm gonna use again live server. So looking at the web page that I created in live server, and this is the remove this from here. Okay, so I created this boxes, and each one has some text in it. And if you look, it's a simple page. I used the title in the beginning, and then I have a div with a class container box 1 2 3 4. And I gave it colors, and let me see the CSS. Looking at the CSS for the title here, and we gave it some a border and some padding and some margin in between. So and each box is identical. They're all 400 width, 400 pixel width, and 100 pixel height. So now I'm gonna use the way you use the Flexbox model in properties. The first one, the container, which is this one. The container have some properties too. So basically, the flex inside the container. In this case, we're gonna align the box 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way with attribute display equal actually colon flex, comma, and if you look at so that's what it did when you add the flex. It aligned them, but you still have to do some work. If you make the browser smaller, they're not gonna wrap, or they're not gonna stay. They're gonna get out of the box. If you look at it now here, so there is a way to do this. You have to use some more attributes. So let's look at the attributes. Okay, so the flex container, which is this one here, flex wrap, flex flow. Let's try the flex flow display. So flex display properties display flex box. Actually, let's see, container. I'm looking at a reference, which is the w3school.org. It's got lot of details about the HTML, CSS, how you create the codes, and so in this case, we cannot try the flex direction. Okay, so if you use the flex direction, we have those options. Let's say we can use a column. So it's gonna list them in a column fashion, a row fashion. You see how it's changing? Use the flex wrap. Actually, you can still have. So basically, you have um, attributes here for the Flexbox container, and they have values. and you have different attributes here you can use, and each one have different wrap. Instead, actually, the flex direction, it has more. Let's say row. If we use row reverse, it's gonna reverse them. So you're gonna see a box 4 in the beginning. Okay, so it reversed them in a row fashion. So box 4, 3, 2, 1. So now if you use, let's say, column, flex direction column, reverse column, it reverses them. It starts from box 4 going down to box 1. Use flex wrap. Okay, we have some options. Let's say we're using no wrap. So no wrap, you see it does not, they disappear, they're not gonna wrap around. If we use the so they're gonna be wrapped around. So you see, so it didn't, it appeared here, it doesn't disappear like before. When you use the, it didn't go away. And even if you make the browser bigger, you're gonna get the box here, it's not gonna disappear. So let's look at another one. Let's look at flex wrap and give it a value of wrap reverse. Okay, so what it did, it reversed them. Box 4, 1, 2, 3 had the 3. So it basically, it did the reverse from the wrap. So let's try flex flow. If we use flex flow, let's say use the column. Okay. So let's try the flow. Let's use no wrap. When you make the browser smaller, they're gonna disappear. They're not gonna wrap around in a box. That's the no wrap. And if you use, okay, yeah, I think we did this. It reversed them in the opposite direction. Oh, justify center. Let's try flex start. See what it does. Oh, okay, flex. So the flex and it so between, space around, space between. Okay, I'm not sure what each one does. So guys, when you can refer to this reference here, this one, w3schools.com. This is a great reference here, and you can go to the end. What else we have? And then we have the align content, align content, align content center, align content. Those to show you what options you have. Stretch. All right. So okay, let's use the flex wrap to make sure they can stay in a box, like even if it's in a container. So okay, so guys, this is the basics of flex. uh, it lets you there is the flexbox container, and in it you can have flexbox elements inside the container attributes to the items. So basically we just CSS for the container element. It means you're creating a flexbox. It's gonna be the flexbox and it's gonna comply with the flexbox model. And then you have more attributes here. Once you enter the display, you go down, you have so many attributes here for the container, and some of them are the flex. You want the flow to go options once you type it. Like that's, for example, here, if you type flex, it's gonna give you the options. This is what's good about the Visual Studio Code. It says flex direction, so you can choose any of those, and then once you choose those the column, some of them become a second nature. You can get used to them, because the flex direction, it means the direction of the elements, and if you use column, it's self-explanatory. Column is going up and down, row is going from left to right, and then you have the column reverse. Instead of 1 2 3 4, you might have 4 3 2 1. Same thing, the row reverse, 1 2 3 4, they're reversed, 4 3 2 1. So basically, to find them and how to look for them and when to use them. So this is why you have to resort to different references, like the w3school.com. You go to the internet and you just resources. Don't limit yourself to one resource. So basically, and the Flexbox mod can align them in a certain way. This way, you so many items in the Flexbox at the attributes and value for the Flexbox, and then you have changes. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna work on the Flexbox container option, and now we can look at the items. The items are the box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, and the values we have, some of the values. Let's say, let's go to box 1, the order will give you more values for it, and you can choose the values here. So let's say initial. Okay, it looks like the initial, it does not change anything. Let's change the initial. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what the order does. Let's try the flex grow. The flex grow. So the flex grow, let's see what values we can have. So again, it's the same inherit. Okay. Let's use the shrink, flex shrink, flex shrink. Looks like we're getting the same values in this case. Inherit, initial, onset. Let's use flex stem pixel. I'm just trying values, guys. I'm not sure exactly what, because I'm new in this and I'm starting to learn it myself. Okay, so again, I think we so again, um, what I went over and how you create the container, the Flexbox this will create the Flexbox container. You add certain values for the container, and the values can be flex direction, flex wrap, flex flow, flex content. I'm gonna go over how to use the values, the flex values for the items, because even those items here, item 1, 2, 3, 4, these can have their own flex values. They're called the flex items. This is the flex box model here, and it has its own attributes, and we call it the flex box container, that it contains the items here, and then the Then you have the values for the box 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have to do more search on those values so I can create another video to go over. But for now, let's just keep it limited. You have to use the display flex, and then you have more values here. You can use like the flex direction, flex wrap. If you, let's say, if you use a flex wrap, and you can choose the values. Let's say if you choose wrap, then everything will stay in the box. Nothing will get out of the box. They just wrap. They're gonna get out of the box. Now, if you make it bigger, you can see them. But if you make the browser smaller, they're gonna get out of the box. But if you use the wrap here, they're gonna stay inside the container. So this is how it works, and this is only one value. You can use the let's say flex direction, like what I used before, the direction, flex direction, and then you have column if you want them listed in a column, and just like now, and then you see they're listed in a column now, and if you want you can use the row, and they'll be listed in a row if you make it bigger in a row. It doesn't look like we use it on the same line. Actually, flex wrap. Okay, so you can use more than one attribute, more than one value. So that's it, guys, for part 1 of the Flexbox model. If you have any questions, please submit them in a comment, and make sure you submit any questions you may have about the Flexbox, or any question about CSS and HTML. This way I create more videos. Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Josh Shamon, and I want to thank you for your time.